I got to tell you something. Congratulations. This film is astounding. What came to mind as I was starting to watch this film is, when did you have time to make this movie? Because of everything you're doing in Haiti.
Yeah, you know what was interesting about it? Because I had, among other things, spent out, and I had to go back to work.
Yeah.
Also, I'd committed to this movie sometime before
Yeah.
The Haiti earthquake. So once I got to Haiti and found myself having spent all my money, and I did have to come back, and the organization was up and running. We had a reasonable leadership in place that could take over for me while I was away. And it was the day, and I just prayed that there wasn't going to be some kind of new emergency.
Sure.
And virtually the day we finished, I went into my trailer to take off the stuff for the last time, and I would always leave my cell phone in the trailer. And I came in and it was flashing red, and that was the outbreak of cholera. So I went the next day.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
It's a compelling story. Your character is amazing. How did you decide on, was it you who decided on the look and the voice and the entire kind of feel of the character?
Quite typically, an actor would be the inventor of the look, as it were. Not in this case.
Really?
Simply because the look that Paolo had in his head and the pictures, the reference pictures that he had to offer me, were so harmonious with what I had read. He has, I think, his own clarity is one that is easily shared, and so there wasn't a better idea, I thought, than the director's idea, so why not go with the director's idea in this case? In terms of the look of the character, some of the other things, vocally and so on, that kind of happened as just as a way of trying to get my arms around some of the what I would call the graphing of the part, and the way that things started to play out in rehearsals and that period.
Were there any rockers or musicians that you kind of thought of or channeled, if you will, to kind of help you with this character?
Not really. No, there were obvious references to visual references to certain people that were among those pictures that he showed me, people that I hadn't had a deep awareness of. But we looked into, listened to, exposed myself to some of that stuff, but there wasn't anything. This is really, for better or worse, this is a script generated performance.
How long did it take you every day to become just physically Cheyenne?
It was an hour and a half, maybe.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't. That one wasn't much.
You're equally admired for both your work, your acting, and your activism and what you're doing. I don't understand how you've been able to just stay balanced and humble and self-deprecating all these years, because you're like, to me, you're like the biggest star in the world.
No, I've got, anybody who has kids has a method by which they can be humbled. Certainly this last couple of years has been, but even that, talking about being humbled is declaring being humble. So I'm conscious of that all the time, and God knows I'm not strictly humble. They can tell you that at the United Nations.
What aren't you humble about?
Common sense. When there's a common sense thing, then I don't mind saying that my opinion is right, and I'm not interested in the gray area and so on and so forth. And I watch. This culture has gotten to be where the bar is so very low on so many things that affects the way people express the most basic things to each other, hold on to them, discipline themselves to it, and I think you really got to work hard to not have the edges of the knife dulled. A sharp knife has great usage,